Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Unity of Kern County on this third day of March 2024. I'm Reverend Chuck, and today's message is about our emotions and how they can create the experiences for us. And of course, as we do each Sunday, we honor that presence of God as we best understand that presence by praying the Charles Fillmore prayer in the presence. I'm now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of love, life, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and power, O blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my mortal limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. And so it is. Well, friends, we all are endowed with two very basic and strong emotions. Sorry about that, that allow them to create the experiences that we have in our life. And of course, for our survival, they are love and fear. And our desires and our hopes, our dreams are filtered through these two very, very important emotions that we have. Author Rick Routley gives us a guide into these two emotions, and I quote: when we are experiencing the emotion of love, we find ourselves with these types of feelings: heart warmed, affectionate, tender, compassionate, sentimental, appreciative, and grateful. When we experience the emotion of fear, these are the types of feelings we express. We're scared, we're frightened, we're terrified, we panic, we're insecure, we feel inadequate, we're nervous, we're anxious, we're horrified, and of course, we have feelings of being dreadful. So, when you have a thought that impacts your life, be it a negative one or a positive one, it goes directly to your emotions, where, of course, it is filtered through either the emotion of fear or the emotion of love. The experiences that we will eventually have, of course, are based on which emotion controls that manifestation of that thought in our life. And I'm not talking just a fleeting thought. I'm talking about the thoughts that are constantly, they keep us up at night, um, you know, or we can't sleep because we're in love. We've all experienced that, where once those strong emotions are triggered, it does bring a manifestation of some kind into our life and into our affairs. You know, I'm going to share a little bit of my history. There was a time in my life when I had to deal with, of course, the emotion of fear. And that was when my wife informed me that she no longer wanted to be married and filed for separation. And all of a sudden, I'm faced with making a major shift in my life. What am I going to do? And so she had moved 250 miles away, had taken the kids, went from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando. And now I'm stuck fearfully trying to figure out how am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to pay the utility bills? There's only one income coming in now. I have to change what I'm doing. So while I'm thinking about that, I put out the word that I was looking for a change, and one of my friends told me about an insurance position with Metropolitan Life. So I went, had the interview, took the test, the placement test, passed that, and then was offered a position as an insurance agent with Metropolitan Life. Well, the same week that that was going on, another friend informed me that there was a lawn care company that was looking for a person that had a certified pest control certificate issued by the state of Florida that they could rent because they were looking to expand their business from lawn care to indoor house pest control and rodent control. And so I took a meeting with the owner of the company. We settled on a fee for my license so that he could operate the business and set up his household pest control uh, part of the company. And I was deciding to go to work for Metropolitan Life at the same time. Well, he had called before I made the final call to Metropolitan Life, and he said, "I don't want to rent your license. I want to hire you. I want to hire you to come and create the department for me. And I went, wow, okay. Um, the pest control industry was a love of mine. And now I saw an opportunity here to act out of love. And of course, I also saw an opportunity to make a major change too, and to become an insurance agent. So I took it into prayer, took it into meditation. And what should I do? You know, well, I just finished reading the book, Game of Life by Florence Shinn, and it explained that we often will find ourselves in a position at a crossroads where we have to make uh, a decision one way or the other. So I took it to God in prayer. And of course, it came back that I knew what I needed to do. And of course, love was the answer. Since the pest control industry was, I loved it, I decided that that was what I was going to do. So I agreed to come on board and start the pest control department for um, this gentleman. 4 years later, he sold me that department. He had taken the state exam, passed it, got his credentials. He was certified now to do general household pest control services, and he sold me that business that I did. So, listening to God, listening to your intuition, listening and taking it to that essence of love internally really can help you. You know, they say never make a decision in your life when you are emotionally upset, because it's fear that causes you to be upset. Love, however, has a totally different uh, 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 desire on your heart, a totally different impact on your heart. You know, we all experience these emotions all the time. It's part of the human condition. Jesus even had to deal with it. And he said that when we're faced with this, what do? Well, you go to God first. You definitely go to God first. So, how often do we listen to that still small voice? Something that I talked about last week. How often do we listen to that spiritual, intuitive side of ourselves, which has the wisdom and reason to help us make that right decision? As someone once said, and I quote, the intuitive mind has access to the infinite supply of information. It is able to tap into a deep storehouse of knowledge and wisdom, the universal mind. It is also able to sort out the information and supply you with exactly what you need when you need it. Our role, however, is to listen to our intuition, trust its guidance, and learn to act on it step by step. So when we do that, we end up putting our feelings into the hands of Spirit, under the direction of Spirit, if you will. And when you do that, you won't fail, because eventually you'll become to realize what is the highest and best for you. When you allow your intuitive self to align with the Spirit, it's like turning into your favorite program, radio station, for instance, and listening to the music, which brings a smile to your face and a bounce to your step. So, how do you know when you're heading in that right direction? Well, here's a couple of insights. Number one, you're feeling good about yourself. Number two, you are seeing things in your life that will now bring you joy, satisfaction, and of course, a renewed sense of purpose. And three, you'll find that hope springs eternal, as it was once said. And because of that, you're more productive and your friends like being around you. Then you're on the right track. You see, when the emotion of fear comes to play, just remember that one of the hardest things for us to do is surrender our control, if you will, of outcomes to the seemingly unknown. We must be able to engage our spiritual selves and have a willingness to, number one, accept the possibility that we are being guided. Number two, God's on our side, waiting for us to be happy and live a life of joy, hope, and love. Three, that we pay attention to the messengers that are there to help us, but we have to also ask for that help at the same time. Four, that we tune into the broadcast band of love, acceptance, and wisdom. And always, number five, remember to breathe, to let go, to trust, to have faith, and keep moving. I love what Edith Armstrong has been able to do with her life when dealing with the emotional fear. And she writes, and I quote, I keep the telephone of my mind open to peace, harmony, health, love, and abundance. Then, whenever doubt, anxiety, fear try to call me, they get a busy signal. And soon they'll forget my number. I love that. So in closing, let me leave you with this affirmation, if you will, from the author of Louise Hayes. She writes, I quote, the universe totally supports every thought I choose to think and believe. I have unlimited choices about what I think. Therefore, I choose balance, harmony, and peace, and I express it in my life. Well, friends, I want to thank you for following me on my YouTube page, Unity of Kern County, and also Facebook with the same Unity of Kern County page. And if you have questions at any time, please feel free to contact me at revchuckunity@yahoo.com. And I want to thank all of you who continue to share your monetary gifts with me so that we can keep bringing these messages to you on a weekly basis. So until next time we meet, remember, be good to yourself and others. God bless you, dear friends.